Right. Okay. We'll have a short class for two reasons. Um, One is, I told you I have an issue of that has to do with neurology. Can you see what's happening? What's happening?
Your hand is shivering.
Yeah. My legs and hands are all shaking.
Why, sir?
I told you I have a neurological problem. It has hit me today, and it's my mother's birthday today. So I probably got emotional, and that's why this has happened. I don't know, but even if I put my hand like this,
Yes, sir.
so I'm not in a very good shape. So we'll quickly go through the Shastras and let's see when we talk about a Shastra. I told you yesterday that the general belief that people have is that the general belief that people have is that these are holy writings. These are not holy writings. These are basically what we call science today. In the ancient days, it was the Shastras which the Indians had, and all these, the Vedas, the Vedangas, Upavedas, all of them, if you see them, they're all, I told you, non-religious. They are secular in that sense of the term. Okay, they are secular. So you should not look at Shastras as religious writings or, something to do with holiness. They are not that. Now, the concept of dharma, which is enunciated in the Dharmashastra, is one of the most difficult things to understand when we are using the English language. It is quite difficult to understand even if we are using, using Indian languages, okay, because it's a Sanskrit concept. And since Indian languages have over the years got extremely Sanskritized, they have got Sanskritized. As a result of that, basically what has happened is that these words have just come in, uh, they have just come in to our languages. But rarely do we understand the meaning of what these things actually are. Okay, now Dharma Shastra Dharma, not Shastra, Dharma has variously been translated into English as justice, as law, okay, as code of conduct, right? It has been translated into all these different things. And it is none of these things, okay? Uh, it is not justice. It is certainly not law. And it is also something which is not a code of conduct. See, if you say something is codified, okay, that means you are basically talking about things which have taken on the shape of a code that you cannot break. So, the 10 Commandments, if you're familiar with that, the 10 Commandments are a code of conduct. Okay? Don't do what, don't do to your neighbor what you don't want your neighbor to do to you. Don't covet money. Don't covet somebody else's wife. Okay, so those are the 10 Commandments. Right? And if you look at these, they are do's and don'ts. And ancient and medieval European and whatever non-Indian, I will say, societies relied on these kind of codifications. Okay, if you don't do this, if you do this, you're good. If you do this, you're bad. But when it comes to the concept of dharma, okay, the only word that comes somewhere close to the meaning of dharma in English is righteousness or doing the right thing. RIGHT righteousness, yes, or doing the right thing, doing the correct thing. But what is the correct thing? Okay, this is where you will see that dharma is something which does not tell you that this is right or this is wrong. Okay, dharma leaves it to you entirely to act in a manner which is righteous. So sometimes it is righteous to kill. The best example that you can think of is the Kurukshetra War. Okay, and in the Kurukshetra, what Arjuna says to Krishna, okay, is that I can't kill all these uncles and cousins of mine, my great grandfather Bhishma. I can't kill all these people. How can I kill so many people? He says, I can't kill. I don't want to fight this war. So when he says, I don't want to fight this war, Krishna tells them, there is nothing wrong in fighting this war and killing these people. You have to kill them. Why should you kill them? Because they are perpetuating adharma. Okay, they are perpetuating adharma, which is doing bad things. Okay, uh, those things which are going contrary to righteousness or dharma. So everybody says Duryodhana, okay? And then his famous brother Dushasana, the man who is supposed to have, tried to take off Draupadi's clothes in the court after that gambling match, right? Dushasana and Duryodhana, but those are not their meanings, their names. Their names are Suyodhana and Sushasana. Okay, Suyodhana is one who's capable of doing good. Sushasana is one who can rule righteously. But since they were doing the opposite of what they were supposed to do, they were called Duryodhana and Dushasana, right? Because they were doing things against Dharma, that which is against Dharma. Okay, so he says it is your Dharma as a Kshatriya. Krishna tells this to Arjuna as a Kshatriya. It is your duty to maintain Dharma, and in the maintenance of the Dharma, you have to kill these people because they are basically creating a dharma which is, I told you, the yin and the yang, the cosmic balance. So Krishna says the cosmic balance is getting upset, right? So he tells Arjuna that you must kill. But he says, what about my great grandfather? He stood for dharma many times. How can I kill him? How can I kill Dronacharya? The answer that Krishna gives to this particular question is, he says, your grandfather, Bhishma, okay, and your guru, Dronacharya, and his son, Ashwathama, they are doing what is their dharma. Okay, their dharma is as people who are in the court of Dhritarashtra, okay, the court of Dhritarashtra, the father of Suryodhana, as people who are in that court, it is their dharma to fight a war on behalf of their ruler. The ruler is Dhritarashtra. It is up to them to fight that war. But this is the interesting aspect that you should keep in mind. In performing their dharma, they are actually perpetuating adharma. Okay? Because both Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, or Suryodhana, all these people represent adharma. But in spite of the fact that these people are doing dharma from their side, okay, they basically are fighting on the side of adharma. So you have to kill them. That is your dharma. Right? The same Krishna tells Shishupala. Shishupala used to bait Krishna, and Krishna told Shishupala, I will count up to 100 mistakes of yours. When you make the 100th mistake, I will kill you. Okay? And then people asked him, what is the significance of this 100? Why should he be permitted to make 100 mistakes? Krishna's answer to that is like dharma is like a ledger. It comes with you in all your births. So he says in his previous births, Shishupala did something good. Though now he's a wicked man, in his previous births, he had done something which is by nature good. So I have to give him some leeway before I can kill him. So that is why he says 100 mistakes. And when Shishupala makes the 100th mistake, he kills him. So you see how complicated the notion of dharma is, right? At another level, now beggars have changed. Now beggars come to you and ask you for 20 rupees. If you give even 10 rupees, they look down on you. Pathetic fellow is giving 10 rupees. So they demand money from you. But there was a time when beggars, they should not be called beggars, they are called mendicants. 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 Mendicants basically used to ask for food. They used to go with the bowl. Okay. And in Hindi, they would say, Dharam karo, which is in Telugu, Dharmam cheyandi. Okay. It was not Bicham veyandi. No. Dharmam cheyandi, which is a reminder to you that your circumstances are good. So today you are in a position to take care of yourself, feed yourself. My position is bad. I am not in a position to take care of myself. And as a fellow human being, it is your duty. So dharma can also become duty. Okay? It is your duty basically to give me food so that I can also survive. So this is the whole cosmological angle to it. So dharma basically has to be understood as this particular thing where people have to do the right thing. In fact, in some of the Brahmin households a few centuries ago, okay, and in parts of coastal Andhra, even till up to 1950, 55, people would not have their lunch unless somebody came and asked them for food. It's only after giving food to someone that the family will sit down and have their lunch. That is what is written in the Dharmashastra. Okay. Now, the Dharmashastra also talks about another concept, which is karma. Okay, karma, you know what is karma. It is also there in Vyakarana. If you remember your Vyakarana, Telugu Vyakarana, you will remember karta, karma, kriya.
Yeah.
You remember those? Karta, karma, kriya.
Yes, sir.
Karta is the doer. Karma is the act. Okay. Kriya is the result. Okay. So karma, it is like I told you, it's a bank balance. As long as you have good bank balance with you, then you'll get a good life. Because the ancients believed in the transmigration of the soul. Life starts as a small, insignificant organism, and the highest form of life is human life. Below human life, you have the cow. Okay, the cow is considered to be just below the human life. Right? Now, in the human life, if you continue to live your life as per dharma by understanding the Dharmashastra, and if you did that, then your karma will be good. Okay? You will have what they call sukarma as opposed to dushkarma. Dushkarma is bad karma. If you have dushkarma, then you will be born again as low life. Okay, but if you are born as, if you do sukarma, then you can become one with the universe, which is Tattvam Asi. I am that. I am no longer an individual being. I told you, I am no longer an individual self. I had used that expression. An individual self is Satish Chandra, okay, or Vinay, or Kavya. But a universal self is spirit and consciousness, devoid of this thing which we call the body, right? So, karma and dharma are dovetailed into each other. It is living a dharmic life which ensures sukarma, and sukarma will ensure that you will break the cycle of life and death. I'll talk about the difference that is there in Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya later. Okay? But for now, this is just a small little introduction to the idea of dharma, which is doing the right thing, which means you have to judge. Okay? You may think I'm doing philanthropy. Okay? You understand philanthropy, giving money to somebody who has a cause. My uncle used to give money to one charity. Okay, and usually they used to come and collect the checks. They used to live on the ground floor of my house. So one month they couldn't come. So my uncle said, you go and give the check to those people in that particular organization. So I went there. My uncle had given a check for 50,000 rupees. And I realized that there were when I saw that building there, it was better, much, much better than most houses that I saw. People were sitting in air-conditioned offices. All charitable trust, mind you, charity, not for profit. They had 4 cars meant for the chairman, president, vice president. They had 4 cars. They had this beautiful building. They had been given a plot of land. The government was giving money to them. So I went and told my uncle, you may be thinking you're doing the right thing, but what you're doing is a very wrong thing. You're already, you're giving big money to those people who already have a lot of money. So if you're doing it as your dharma, then this is not going to add to your karma, because that is where the concept of vichakshana, it's a Sanskrit word, it's also come into Telugu now. Vichakshana. Vichakshana is your ability to distinguish between right and wrong. Okay? Vichakshana is your ability to distinguish between right and wrong. So it is vichakshana that allows you to understand things correctly and act righteously. Okay, so don't think doing charity is good karma. No, it isn't as simple as that. It's not. If somebody is sitting, in those days, we didn't have an air conditioner at home. Okay, and my uncle also didn't have an air conditioner at home. But he's giving money to people who are sitting in air conditioned atmosphere. Right? So that is lack of vichakshana. So dharma requires vichakshana, which will determine your karma. And this is intricately linked to the idea of niti. Niti is a subtype of dharma. Niti again is living righteously. Following rules of righteousness is niti. Okay? Niti basically means doing again the right thing, so it is a part. It is a part of dharma, but niti is spelled out. What is niti and what is aviniti? Aviniti in Sanskrit is the opposite of niti. Aviniti is the lack of niti, or something which is bad. Okay? So aviniti and niti, again it is vichakshana. You must be able to distinguish between that which is niti and that which is aviniti. Okay? So, while as a teacher, it is my dharma to impart education to my students in a proper fashion, I am also bound by niti. I keep telling you, I take public money. People are paying taxes in this country, and it is from those taxes that I take my salary, right? So if I don't teach, it's not just my, if I don't teach properly, it's not just my dharma that I am not upholding. I am also not upholding niti. I am also not upholding niti, right? So therefore, or if you take a bribe, that is aviniti. What is a bribe? A bribe is to do a bad deed. Or even if you're doing the right thing, if you're taking a bribe for that, that is a bad thing. So niti, karma, dharma, they all basically go together. Okay? They are one particular set. Okay? Dharma, karma, niti. And all these are also there in Vyakarana. Vyakarana itself tells you, that is the beauty of our languages. Any language in the world other than Indian languages, you don't write as you read. I can read Kavya as Kavya. I can read it as Kavya. I can read it as Kavya. Different ways in which people read, foreigners read my name as Satish. Okay, they call me Satish. My name is Satish, not Satish. But when you write in Hindi, Telugu, any language that uses either Devanagari or Brahmi scripts, if I write Kavya, I can read it only as Kavya. In fact, in English, I can read Kavya as Kavya. Those letters are there, right? So it's complicated conjugations, which are not good because they can't produce all kinds of sounds. Indian languages do that. And Panini's Sanskrit Vyakarana has created very concise Dharmashastra, Nitishastra, and the idea of karma. Okay, they are very concise. They are not bulky like me. Okay, they are not huge. They are like Rasagnya. I don't know if she's there. Very compact, small. They are like Rasagnya. She may have left by now. She did come in.
No, she's there, sir.
She's there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So they are like Rasagnya, not like Satish Chandra. So what I want you to understand is that these three things basically go together: dharma, karma, niti. I'll stop here today, and tomorrow we'll finish this off and move. I'll do the Nyaya, Tarka Shastra, Mimamsa. Okay. So see you tomorrow at 11:45, and
Okay.
I'll finish this and we'll move ahead. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you
sir.
very much.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, Rajesh sir put a message in our group that he's going to take Indian political thought at 3.
Indian political thought?
At 3 o'clock, 3 to 4.
Who has given him that class?
Don't know, sir. Once you check our group,